Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to trace a fault line running right through our reality. We're exploring what happens when the systems we all live in start to feel less like a society and more like corrupted code. And, more importantly, what it takes to write a new one.
Okay, let's just dive right into this. We're starting with this really powerful idea: the city as a broken operating system. A story that has gone terribly, terribly wrong. A place where the official narrative, what we're told is happening, and the reality of living there have just completely disconnected, leaving these ghosts in the machine.
You know those official stories we're told about how our world is supposed to work? The rule of law, the social contract, all that stuff. Well, sometimes it can feel like a total fiction, can't it? Like a glitchy program that's running on old, failing hardware, promising a reality it just can't deliver anymore.
And look, this isn't just a metaphor. For so many people, this is their daily reality. It's a world where the code that's supposed to protect them, the laws, the safety nets, instead becomes a weapon that's used against them, widening those cracks until there's literally no ground left to stand on.
So, to really see how this glitch plays out in the real world, we're going to ground this whole abstract idea in a case study from Los Angeles. It involves a network of real estate developers who were allegedly engaged in some seriously predatory practices.
Okay, so this right here, this visualizes the machine behind the glitch. As you can see, we're not talking about just one bad actor. This is a complex web of interconnected companies, allegedly designed to do one thing: obscure ownership, shuffle assets around, and just evade accountability. It's a system that's built to exploit other systems.
And the tactics, they are brutally direct. They're designed to terrorize residents and exploit any legal loophole they can find. In one documented case, a construction crew allegedly removed the roof from a rent-controlled building right before a storm hit. They effectively weaponized the weather to destroy a tenant's home from the inside out.
And here's the end game. Just look at this timeline. It shows a property being bought and then flipped with these massive price hikes in just a matter of months. A timeline like this, it suggests there are maneuvers going on that are way beyond normal market activity. It really points to a system that's been expertly manipulated for maximum profit.
But here's the thing. The problem isn't just predatory actors. It's about what happens when the very systems that are designed to protect the vulnerable don't just fail, but they actually make the situation worse. On the surface, the official process is framed in this super dry, bureaucratic language, right? It outlines services, rules, procedures, all for the city's programs that are meant to help the unhoused population. It promises this clear path to stability.
But then you get the reality. This is from a lawsuit for a participant identified as Lisa. After she entered a city program, she was allegedly discharged back onto the street, at night, with fewer possessions and resources than when she started. So the system didn't just fail her, it actively harmed her. What's really important to understand here is that this kind of thing actually has a name. It's a recognized legal concept called state-created danger. This isn't just bad luck or someone falling through the cracks. This is when the state itself becomes the agent of the very peril it's supposed to prevent. So, when the official code is this fundamentally broken, what do? Well, some people just stop trying to debug it. They stop filing the reports. They start trying to write a completely new one.
And this brings us to a really key concept for writing this new code: recursion. It's not just a simple loop, it's an evolutionary one. It's this idea of folding back on yourself to create something totally new. It's a way of thinking that escapes a broken, linear path and actually allows for transformation.
From this recursive point of view, the world starts to look different. A lawsuit isn't just a document. It's a virus designed to infect and change a system. A business plan, a zine, a poem, they all become different forms of executable code, designed to operate on and literally alter reality itself.
So what do these new operating systems actually look like out in the wild? Well, they're a strange and powerful and often really beautiful mix of technology, art, and direct action.
Okay, take foggy dew fungi, for example. This is a wild one. On the surface, yeah, it's a mushroom farm. But if you look closer, it's an attempt to build a completely new kind of system by calling itself a fungal camgirl cinematic universe and using AI to create this living story. It's hacking our very ideas of business and community. It's rejecting that old code of just sell a product and writing a new one where art, technology, and agriculture are all fused together.
Or, if you want to take this idea to its absolute extreme, you get something like the Manifesto for Neurosoft. It basically argues that the ultimate corrupted code isn't in our cities, but in our own minds, in the way we're all taught to think.
The goal here is pretty radical. Create new mental tools, a new operating system for the brain to achieve what it calls neurocognitive liberation. It's about rewriting the very source code of thought.
And this really lays out the core conflict, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the current system, one that often treats our minds as a product to be managed and monetized, and on the other, you have this radical push for neurological sovereignty, the right to control our own cognitive and neurological landscape. It's basically a battle for the source code of the self.
And then, back on the actual streets, this whole rebellion gets physical. It gets mechanical, with groups like the Moped Army. They find freedom not in breaking the limits, but by embracing them, by turning these small, simple machines into symbols of pure joy and community.
Their motto, swarm and destroy. Well, it's not about literal destruction. It's about destroying norms, destroying isolation, destroying the idea that the city's streets belong to anyone but the people who ride them. It's a two-stroke rebellion against everything you're expected to do.
So where does all of this leave us? All of these different responses, the legal challenges, the wild technological experiments, the cultural movements, they're all attempts to answer a really fundamental question about power and narrative in a broken world.
And this, right here, brings us to the ultimate takeaway. The stories we tell, the myths we build, they're not just entertainment. They're functional. They are the programs that shape our reality. They're the installation instructions for how we think, how we act, and how we build our world.
And that leaves us with this one big, final, kind of provocative thought. In a world of failing systems and corrupted code, the ultimate power, well, it doesn't belong to those who enforce the old rules. It belongs to those who dare to imagine, build, and execute whatever comes next.